So as Bhuvnesh rightfully pointed out that, HAI is really our organization. And we are here to learn a little bit more about it. And I think we are delighted that now we have somebody with the caliber of Mr. Bezbaruah, on our team, because clearly we needed some help. So to begin with, I think it has been a disappointing few years. I mean, we had lots of expectations every time there would be, we would all be tuning into the budget and hope that there was some sweet news. And we were practically invisible to the authorities. So I think that was quite demoralizing. Now, the strange thing is that I know for a fact the extent of excellent work that went on behind the scenes. And this is exactly what the audience needs to know, that there was tremendous work, good work, smart work, hard work that went behind the scenes. There were soft handshakes on certain things that would be delivered. And yet, the corridors of power, which I think you can tell us more about how it works there. We just did not figure as a priority, and this is despite tourism being, now being talked about as one of the 5 pillars of economic, one of the 5 economic pillars, etc. So just as a preamble, I don't want to go on and on about this, but I just want to share this because I'm sure that many people in this room, are coming with this mindset that why are we almost irrelevant?
Well, Rajiv, I think you put it very mildly when you say that the disappointment has been for a few years. It has been for a very long time. For me, it has been for the last 25 years. When we started, even in the ministry, I can go on to so many things, but I don't want to do that because that will be, that's a risk in getting old, that you go back into what you have been doing. But simple things take a long time. For example, in 1999, we had initiated the visa on arrival. It took 12, 13 years, even after acceptance by the cabinet committee, to have it in around 2012, 13. Things are slow in government, and because so far as tourism is concerned, main problem is that tourism ministry itself does not control the areas which make tourism. Everything else, culture is a different ministry, civil aviation is different ministry, home is a different ministry, they control. That coordination becomes a very big problem, and that's why things take a long time. Let me come back to the recent times. As you talked about, recent times is the worst experience we had in the history of travel and tourism is the pandemic. We did from the HAI try to bring government to only one thing, that please recognize the importance of the sector in respect of jobs, in respect of income creation, and try to give some relief to those 80 to 85% of small and medium enterprises which comprise travel and tourism, forgetting about the branded big brands, etc. Try to have some relief for them. That did not happen. Our next request was that make tourism sector a very specific sector-specific relief program. That also did not happen. Our main focus always has been on only one thing, and that is continuing, that liquidity. The liquidity is a problem on which the past and the future also depends quite a lot. We wanted a long-term program from the RBI and the Ministry of Finance that we can have a long-term program of interest, etc. So these things, small things which could have happened in the states, like deferment of GST, deferment of taxes, etc., that also did not happen. Why it doesn't happen is very difficult to say. Primarily because perhaps what happened, we used to say that during my time that tourism is something which everyone talks about, but no one cares, because the impact of tourism is really not seen. It goes down the line, ripple effect, And WTTC had said that at least 30 activities are at the core of tourism, but you see only accommodation, transport, and few others. So I think that, but let me come back to, I always used to say, like Charles Dickens, that this is the worst of time and this is the best of time. I think we have very, very hopeful, optimistic signs now. And that comes from 2 or 3 things that I have noticed. One is that the states have been brought into the picture. In Dharamsala, they had a meeting where the states were brought in, and the states were told that you have to do your part because
I'm sorry to interject. Yes, I think I would like to share with everybody in the audience that we've had some notable successes in the last 6 months.
Yes.
With the governments in, I think, Rajasthan, Karnataka, and Maharashtra.
That of course.
So I think they would like to. It would be,
yeah.
Yes, I would like you to share. What, because success doesn't just happen by itself.
Yes.
There was a lot of work and study that went into it, and I think it would be heartening for everybody to, because we can feed off this and see more of this in the future.
Yeah, 2 other things that are happening. I will come back to that. 2 other things that are happening in the mindset, which are going to be very important, and is that the government is talking about a National Tourism Authority and a National Tourism Board. These are going to be, if it happens, and happens in the right perspective, like it was recommended by the committee in 1987. Now government is thinking about it. When I had tried to do it in 1998, I may share now, my minister says that you want to make me unemployed. Because if you give a National Tourism Board what left of the ministry, now that's not a correct approach. The ministry has a lot of role, and the National Tourism Board can have the public-private partnership, which we are looking for. If that happens, I think you will have a very, very big role in policy formulation and policy implementation. Now, things which are happening luckily is, for example, we had our state chapters and we said that go and meet the states and find out where things happen. Industry status we have been talking about. Lots of states have said that, yes, we'll give the industry status, but the benefits do not flow. That has started happening now in Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Punjab, Karnataka, and I'm sure other states will follow. Well, I will.
Yes, my point is this, that yes, the government is a very special animal, and I think people in Delhi know that better. But we have an organization like NASSCOM. Look at the amazing success that this thing achieves. So the point is that you can work and you can get wonderful things done with government. So I think it's also got to do with maybe our competence and our fundamental strategy. I mean, as an outsider, I find that we are asking for too many things. Anybody would be confused. I mean, every month we have a litany of, suddenly you want GST, somebody else, now we want something else. So I think it is much better to keep an annual agenda of perhaps 2 things and just chip away at it continuously.
Now, I think we have changed in HII, we have completely changed our approach. I mean, I'm not saying that we are changing the approach of the last 25 years, but what we are trying to say is that it is not government and the industry separately, that we are partners, we are collaboratives. So we are trying to tell the government that, look, this is what we want, and please take us into confidence in what you are doing and what we can contribute. I may tell you that some good things have happened. The ministry has been consulting us almost on anything that they are doing. We are in the committees of various committees of the ministry. We could get these parliamentary standing committees to meet us 3 times to talk to them about the problems. And you'll be very happy to see that all that we had asked for have been part of the parliamentary standing committee's recommendation completely, and they have gone beyond what we have asked for. Now, I have a feeling that the approach should be now not asking for demands. We are not working like unions. We are working as associations. We are associations of all the members whose mouthpiece is we are the voice of the industry. HII is the voice. And that voice we try to carry to the government where it is necessary. And government have started listening to us. We found that it was not possible to get everything done because the Ministry of Tourism, from my own experience, I know, is helpless in many matters. Lots of things happen in the Commerce Ministry,
yes,
Finance Ministry, and PMO. So we have started going to these areas, and I may tell you that there have been very positive signals so far as infrastructure status is concerned. Because our members, our president, vice president, others, all others had been to the PMO, talked to them, and PMO was convinced that yes, something needs to be done. And the logic we said that, look, you are thinking about certain number of people in the next 25 years, and where are these people going to stay? And why not encourage the industry to come up with investment instead of asking for investment for international capital, etc. coming in? You are talking about local investment. Allow our local investors who have the capacity to do that, go beyond the metros to invest. And that has been accepted in principle. Only thing is working out the nitty-gritties, which may again take time, but I suppose it will happen.
But the entire story lies in the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, it does.
We know that it all happens there. But without trying to get ahead of ourselves, what can we look forward to in February? In the next budget, what do you think is something that we could reasonably expect, because we've been denied so much for so long?
One of the things that has come out very positively is the Ministry of Commerce has stated that they will put services sector, according to the Ministry of Commerce officially, is going to overtake all other services export sectors. And if that happens, they are saying that travel and tourism export, service export, the problems will be part of the trade policy in the future. So I'm hoping that there will be something positive coming so far as the trade policy is concerned. I am also hoping that perhaps the ministry is now convinced that tourism is an important sector. There may be some concessions or some incentives for infrastructure and industry investments.
I think that is the major pain point today for the industry, that you have so many stressed assets, and unless and until we are able to get some relief on that, there's going to be more hardship for the sector.
Yeah, as things as Manmohan Singh ji, when he was finance minister, had said about liberalization, that you cannot stop an idea whose time has come. I think travel and tourism time has now come after a long time. That's my optimism.
Well, from your lips to God's ears, as they say. Because, I've been in this business for 45 years, and I've been hearing for 45 years, Indian tourism has a lot of potential. And it hasn't, I don't think we've been able to harness so much of it. I don't mean to be pessimistic about something. I think, what people in this room need to realize is that it is difficult, but I think that we've had some important successes in the recent 6 months to 1 year. And I think that has, paved the way for bigger things to follow. What we would like to know from you is, what can we do to help you on our behalf achieve greater success?
Well, so far as we are concerned, what we are trying to do is that the voice should be one. We did need to have different voices, but all that voice should, when it goes to the government, should be one voice. We should, and secondly, I think, as you say, that we should come back to a few prioritized items.
Our agenda should be
take up these things for the next year, next things for the next years. And let us not get attention diverted by too small things which can happen. And the third thing we can do is that we have to make it known to the government the work that is being done. For example, lots of discussions today I heard about sustainability, fantastic work done by the industry. And that data and the compilation of the activities, etc., are not properly perhaps focused to the government. Saying that this is what we are doing, and you must accept that. Now, you must not keep on thinking that the hotel industry is elitist, that we are, when we don't really need government support or incentives. That is the feeling on the other side of the fence. Now, they must understand that you have these problems. the problems which are hindering the development of the country, and also compile data about what all good work you are doing, which should be in the focus. And we are trying to do that focus by having various activities like webinars we have been doing from HII. We have a magazine now, which is the mouthpiece, and we will be happy to see that magazine that we focus on.
Yes. No, that's a positive step. Mr. Bezbaruah, if you really look at it, our principal focus, our raison d'etre is basically we are saying that we are an employment generator. Correct. Yet we issue no numbers. How many jobs were created last year? I mean, we should be able to really tangibilize this.
Absolutely.
We should make an effort where we are able to show what exactly is our contribution. We have this big story of a multiplier of 7, for tourism. I think we need to sharpen our narrative, and that's when people will listen.
Absolutely. This
So-
data has to be, we talked about data in the earlier session, the use of data. That data
So we
is
should,
going to be
it's
the
not
most-
difficult to compile as to what exactly, how many hotels have opened, how many restaurants have opened, what exactly are the jobs that have been created. And I think these hard-hitting facts will perhaps earn more respect for the industry,
We are trying to do that. We are also trying to do that, compile some industry status reports, etc., which can give an idea about, it's a very difficult job to get the information because it happens.
But it's doable.
It is
I think
doable.
It's
absolutely.
doable.
Now,
It's
even if
doable,
it is not perfect, you cannot get a perfect.
Absolutely.
We must do it, and it has
Yeah.
to be. You are absolutely right. I mean, we don't even have a complete picture of how
Nothing,
many.
see, historically, we used to see ourselves or we used to position ourselves as foreign exchange earners. Correct. Then about a decade ago, we switched from that to being employment generators. Correct. Now, foreign exchange figures were quantifiable. This data is not quantifiable, or we are not able to quantify it. So I think it would only help us. I mean,
Yes, that's why we went to tourism satellite account. During my time, I started that process. The tourism satellite account will capture all the activities that go down the line, which are not captured in our accounting system. As a result, our contribution to GDP is also not properly known.
Yeah.
I have been trying to say that the tourism satellite accounts should be more forcefully and extensively used, so the government really comes to know what exactly is the impact of tourism, which certainly will be much more than what we are talking today.
So in preparation for this session, I just thought I'll go to the website and see what is the mission of HAI. Okay. So it says that it is to secure for the hotel industry its due place in India's economy, project its role as a contributor to employment generation, highlight its crucial role as a forex earner, and build image for this industry both within and outside the country. So I think that the foreign exchange part is okay. We talked about also the employment that we can try and tangibilize this. And the third thing is build image for this industry both within and outside. I think that's something which HAI has not really flexed its muscles or used its sinews for.
No, we have.
And
it's-
I have a thought which I just wanted to leave
Yeah.
with you, that in the last 2 years, our industry has taken a serious knock. I mean, we keep hearing about the fact that it's the least preferred employment option, for youngsters. I think we should have a campaign of sorts, which really talks about the pride that the joy of being hoteliers, the pride of this industry. I think something of that, and it's for us to reaffirm this, because if we don't believe in this and we don't celebrate this, how on earth can others?
Yeah, absolutely right. And actually, this should come all from the members. The association finally is the mouthpiece of the members.
I'm looking at at Mr. KB Kachru there. He is a leading member of the committee, and I know that this is very, very close to your heart and to the heart of everybody else, and all of us. I mean, all of us here. It's not about who's on the committee. There's a committee can only be finite. It's really about all of us being there. But I think that we need to forget about yesterday, and it's a fresh start. That's really, and I really mean it, Mr. Bezbaruah. We are really happy that we have somebody, of your credentials, your caliber, speaking to the government on our behalf. That's very important.
Well, what has happened now is government at least on principle, has accepted the importance of tourism. Importance of the hotel industry also has been publicly expressed by the Prime Minister and others that yes, they have a role to play in employment and all. There's a gap between the idea and the action. And we are trying to be with the Ministry of Tourism. Ministry of Tourism is fully with us. They have accepted all of, but in their correspondence or argument with the other ministries to get the action initiated, we are trying to be with them. Our main focus has been a collaboration with our fellow associations to build a strong case for our industry as a whole. So we like to have that collaboration and cooperation stronger so that we have all the information that we need to make our case. Secondly, to take that case together with all of us to the government. Faith is an important organization in that respect.
Faith is the apex organization.
Yes.
That's fine, but
So,
I mean, I think you said you're very right. You do not need to have multiple voices there. That only needs to noise. So it's important to have that right coordination. What I think I can tell you is that, at least on behalf of my colleagues here, that we'll give you a stronger voice. But I think you need to carry it, and we are looking forward to some results now.
whatever you say, we ask the members to please tell us what we can do, and we carry it forward.
Yeah.
And
Well, thank you very much. The floor is open if somebody has any pointed questions.
Thank you, Rajiv. I am really happy that BW Hotelier actually included HAI's efforts on what they are doing. And I want to add to what Mr. Bezbaruah said. First of all, we are lucky to have him. He understands government better than any one of us, because he has been part of it and he has been leading from the top. I feel there is a lot of optimism, but as I said yesterday, you were not here. You can have a great vision, but unless it is executed, you hallucinate. It doesn't actually happen. But what we have seen, and I can tell you on behalf of the executive committee members who are here, quite a few of them are in the hall today, that what has happened at all levels in bureaucracy, now we have actually penetrated at the grassroots level, and people who are actually who are objecting or who are seeking clarifications are coming forward and telling us what they want to know to make things happen. So it's happening at the shop floor level. And that is helping us. And that's why Mr. Bezbaruah is optimistic, and what he is conveying to you, that we have actually consolidated our ask. We are not asking for too many things. What today we would ask, as HAI CAP, I would say, is that we need a bigger voice. We need more members to actively participate and tell us what is possible. And in each state, wherever they are, they have to work with state governments. We have had some fantastic successes. I don't want to undermine those. I mean, state governments actually declaring it as an industry hasn't been easy. It has moved. 10 to 11 states have already declared.
And always getting started is the hardest part,
And it's getting executed.
Yeah, the juggernaut will roll now in other states.
What is actually happening is getting, and hotel operators are getting direct benefits. I mean, there are states where your utility bills are going down dramatically. So all those things are happening, but it'll take time. Nothing will change overnight. So we would seek help of all the members.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Aman is raising his hand. We'd love to hear what he has to say.
Now, what Mr. Bezbaruah has said, we have heard many years. I remember Mr. Gautam Khanna at a huge do that was done when Madhav Rao Scindia was minister. This was at the Moria Hotel. And he said, I've been saying the same thing for 50 years and have not been heard. And you're saying 25 years. So I think that, when we talk about hope and optimism, we have cause for great pessimism also, but except that we can't live on that. So the problem, first problem in my opinion, is that the change of mindset hasn't happened from the colonial times. When you go to the government office, they're still we and they. He is an Indian talking to an Indian citizen, and together we have to take the country forward. So why is this attitude of I am doing you a favor? That has to change, I think. And the second thing is that, you're talking about how many people and how many players are there. So I think I've said this before. The most important ministry for us could be an inter-ministerial liaison ministry. Because if one ministry can't talk to each other, where is the chance of any of us as hoteliers to go and talk to that ministry and win? So it is a problem at a higher level, and it needs to be.
We have to manage it, and we have to manage it better. But like I said, that other industries, other sectors have had tremendous success with the government. So it's a special skill how to do business with them, but you can do it.
Perception, you see, they think of hotels as something fancy, rich people's things.
That's what I'm saying. We
That's
have
what,
to.
The National Tourism Authority is actually meant to do that. It is supposed to be composed of all the different ministries who are involved in tourism business. So we have been asking for a long time.
But then I think you have to all go to a dentist and get some shark's teeth,
Yes. Well, Time's Up has been staring at me for the last 5 minutes. So sorry about that extended session. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Bezbaruah. Thank you. And we are, like I said, we are looking forward to some celebrations in February.
Let us hope so.